What can we expect on Fiverr in 2025? And I wanted to talk about the 2025 and what I see Fiverr could potentially do different in 2025 and how this can affect you as a freelancer, as someone who may be planning to go all in on Fiverr, or someone who's been already selling for a long time in Fiverr and thinking, what is my next step in 2025? First of all, of course, I wanted to I haven't really acknowledged on any of my videos this award that Fiverr gave to me, and this is something that, I think Fiverr is trying to, of course, improve in terms of the community. But this award is, it says here, it's for reaching out more than $1 million in orders on Fiverr. It has my name, it has also the category of my services. Of course, in my career, I already reached more than $2 million in Fiverr, actually more than $2.3 million in Fiverr. And I mean, this is of course nice. This is quite heavy as well. So they send this package. I think they have the awards whenever you reach 1 million and also whenever you reach like 5 million. I have not seen anyone with like a 5 million badge, but I'm sure there are sellers who are reaching 5 million. So this is exciting, of course. When you are, going in 2025 and thinking like, can I make this as a full-time career, as a full-time income? Can I scale my journey in Fiverr? It's definitely possible. And I would say you can even do it faster than if you would start maybe a few years ago. Because Fiverr is still, it has a competition, but it's a little bit different. You can definitely stand out from the competition and you can get a traffic. And especially with, what they're trying to do in 2025, there are some actually also a bit concerning things, because yesterday I received an email from Fiverr. I'm sure a lot of sellers received it as well, where they discussed about this sort of a new policy taking business off the platform. And at first I was a bit like skeptical, because I didn't know if they can actually change things, or things like that. So of course, I will say, by looking at this, I haven't noticed any significant changes. So it's always been the same thing. Fiverr wants you, of course, to have one account. You cannot have multiple accounts. This is always the rules. Also regarding the fake identity, you want to make sure that you actually go. So that's why I always suggest, if you're thinking to go on Fiverr, just go as you as a person, because what Fiverr has, which is really nice right now, is that you can actually include your full name. So this is very powerful, because if you are working with buyers, the buyer is going to be curious about your maybe reputation. So they're going to be starting to searching for your name. They're going to be starting to see, who you are. So of course, this adds a lot of and especially like in my case, you can see, when people are Googling my name, they can see information about me, they can see the social media pages. So this goes towards, of course, personal brand. That's why it's important to also think about that. If you haven't done this, this can complement your Fiverr journey really well. So that's one of the things I really love right now about Fiverr, that, they are, you can still share your socials, of course, but at least, people can find you online because you have your name on Fiverr. So if we go here, these things have been there as well, misleading people, include a Fiverr freelance badge, in gig images like this all have been there, spam as well. So, this is something as well, like, abusive malware, phishing, artificial tools, or automated process through software, scripts, bots, or any means to send mass messages. So this is all, of course, it's a concern as well, because, when I talk about, like, let's say when you can outreach to your past clients, to people like that, of course that is possible, but the biggest issue is that you don't want to do any sort of like mass DMs of or spamming your clients. This applies actually not only like on Fiverr, but anywhere else you do, right? So you don't want to be doing any spam activities. But if you know how to properly outreach, because in my case, we are also reaching out to past clients, asking if they're interested to continue, if we're trying to offer them a subscription as well. So you have to do it in the most organic and natural way, right? To not cause any red flags, because I know I've seen some sellers, they're trying to abuse, they're trying to like just spam as much as possible. So that's why Fiverr has to put these things, because essentially, if I'm not saying there are like good or bad sellers, but there are a lot of sellers, and unfortunately I know how Fiverr can be, because a lot of times I speak with sellers and they say, oh, I didn't know that you cannot do that. And of course I would say that's on Fiverr side, because they need to educate you, they need to tell you like what you can do, because even by having these things here, maybe most sellers will miss this, they're not going to actually read that, right? So Fiverr, they need to do a better job of like providing maybe a video series or educating the sellers, but these things are still very, very important to remember, that contact Fiverr user with offers, questions, suggestions, or anything unrelated to their gigs, requests, or orders, right? Again, if you're gonna send, because I had the requests from even my buyers on Fiverr. Some of them, sometimes there are sellers who can message me and ask some questions. So this is a bit tricky, like of course, this is unrelated to my gigs, but still, of course, I will respond to them and say like, oh, thank you, or keep going, keep pushing, because. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to report if someone is not messaging me based on the service, just messaging me based on, because I had the cases where actually from the buyer who purchased my service on Fiverr, eventually he was hosting a conference. He's the founder of the conference in Europe, and he wanted to invite me to the conference. So we had to, of course, communicate on Fiverr to kind of like make that arrangement. So send direct message to promote your services or specific gigs to clients. So this is all, yes, this is all a concern. I actually think that they started to include more of these things, right? Because send direct message to promote your service or specific gigs to clients. So it's a bit tricky, because I think Fiverr does encourage you to go, because when you complete an order, Fiverr encourages you, like, okay, you can send a coupon, you can offer a subscription to them, right? So it encourages you the communication. So that's why when you do any of this stuff, to make sure you're not like get punished, make sure if you outreach to someone, you actually outreach to clients who are happy about your work, who are like 100% satisfied, So this is very important. Not only does this activity determine the negative, it also violates the privacy of our members, potentially harmful. If you encounter spam, please report it, right? So they're encouraging people to report. Feedback manipulation. So this always have been a very, very big one from Fiverr. So reviews provided by buyers, essentials, quality of service provided by freelancers. So of course, Fiverr is not going to be removing your reviews. This is something that has been they've been very strict about it. They've been always tough on this. So you cannot manipulate the review system in any way to represent deceitful information about the freelancer or the service the client freelancer. Provide deceitful and unsolicited feedback. Purchase, sell service with sole intent to false increase. Yes. So I mean, these things they have to put, because I mean, there's a lot of I'm sure I don't want to like kind of like bring anyone say to any of these sellers, but the reason why they put this, because most likely this is still happening, right? So people are still finding ways to manipulate that and do that. Pressure a client to edit or remove feedback, pressure a client to add 5-star review, or give more positive feedback than they're willing to provide. So this is also very important. That's something I've been also talking about. You cannot say that, oh, can you please rate me with a positive or 5-star. You can encourage your buyer to leave a feedback. You can say something like, I'll appreciate your feedback. I'll appreciate, you cannot say really. You can actually use ChatGPT as well to help you with that, because I'm sure it can polish your message a little bit better. But you cannot mention any when you say encourage to review, you have to be as general as possible. So you can say like, I will appreciate your feedback on this order. So you cannot say which feedback, positive feedback or this. So you have to be very careful. You have to be very generic with that. And when you actually send that message to your potential buyer, they will be actually more willing to review your order. So that works well, but you have to be extremely careful. I wouldn't even risk, because on Fiverr, I mean, you have this like a level systems, and it's true that when you're starting at the beginning, it might be a bit more challenging, because essentially, I mean, I don't want to say that like you will get worse or better support, but it does play effect. I mean, you see that on Fiverr, like if you are a top rated seller, pro seller, you get a response. Like I get a response within 2 hours because I'm a pro seller. But if you're at the beginning, you might not get a response even within 24 hours. So you have to accept that challenge, and you have to walk your way through, right, to be able to achieve that sort of like level 1, level 2, top rated pro seller, right? But again, I will be, of course, very careful at the beginning. I will try, if you can subscribe to the Seller Plus and get the Customer Success Manager, I will try, because you want to have some sort of like a real communication with someone, right? That could also potentially guide you, could also, tell you if you can do that or you cannot do that, someone from Fiverr as well, right? Any attempt to manipulate reviews prohibited, may result permanent suspension of all related accounts. This includes either direct or indirect manipulation. So this one is big. This is a huge one. Fiverr will actually go and ban you forever. So be careful with that. And again, just try to, I mean, if you, I actually never really ask, it was a period of time I was just wanting to test it out. I was just like, kind of like encouraging the buyers to just like, provide some, just encourage them to review actually the order, and consider if they want to. Like, it's not, of course, mandatory. If they want to, they can leave. If they don't want to, they don't need to leave. But honestly, I would not risk, because any word you say that is like not correct or like positive or 5-star, it can be over for you. So it's very risky. Reporting abuse. On Fiverr, we value every one of our community members, aim respectful, inclusive, safe environment, encourage our community to use our reporting tools when encountering anything that is unacceptable. We ask you to don't misuse these tools, abuse Fiverr reporting tools, complaints to customer support and appeals process by making groundless, targeted, litigious or frivolous reports, send multiple reports on the same issue without allowing for response from our trust and safety team. This has been always there. Fiverr doesn't want you to like spam again and again if you have opening multiple tickets with the same issue. So this is something that is also tricky. Referral abuse. With the Fiverr referral program, you can earn rewards for yourself, your friends who sign up for Fiverr, create fake accounts. So this has been also there as well. This is nothing new. Manipulation. Any improper behavior aiming to manipulate Fiverr platform, tools, system doesn't align with Fiverr values and harms the entire Fiverr community. Create a Fiverr respectful marketplace. We ask that you don't attempt to subvert our policies, which have been put in place to protect platform and marketplace trust and quality. Excessive cancellation practice, using the delivery button to send incomplete, partial, empty delivery, sending multiple requests on the same issue without allowing for response from customer support. So yeah, this has been there as well. This one is huge. Using delivery button. I understand, even in my case, it's very tricky, because when I deliver my order, most of the things we already have completed. Like, we are done with. So it's like when I send the delivery, there's nothing new that the buyer have not seen before, because my service is like a management for 30 days. So I'm working on the client account for 30 days. So when I click the delivery, it's basically I'm sending the final report. I'm sending like just once again what has been done, like the statistics, the numbers, like how have we been improving. So sometimes the buyer, what I've noticed is that on the growth side, which I provide the report, is fine, but on the content side, because when I do, so for example, I create content and then I post during the 30 days, and then what happens is when I deliver after 30 days, I'm sending the same content that has been already seen by client, because I have to provide it in the communication of the order. And also I already posted that, because we're posting within 30 days. So, and the client sees the content again and they're confused, because they're like, oh, I have seen that already. So There's been very sometimes misunderstanding with the buyers, but just try to make sure when you actually click the delivery button, you don't just send empty delivery. Even if you already showed everything, show it once again. Just be safe, especially at the beginning. This is very, very important. Any attempts to access the platform through unauthorized methods affect play the Fiverr ranking system, send artificial web traffic to gigs, offer to sell by Fiverr accounts, scrape data from the platform, or undermine the security integrity of our products in any way are strictly prohibited. So this is also very, 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 but this has been also very, it's been always there as well. Off-platform transactions. So this is something I think that they're trying to put some new things, because this has been a very big one, because it's affecting a lot of new sellers. So sellers, when you are getting on Fiverr for the first time, you will sometimes you will receive a message like, scan this QR code, you have to pay something. So this has been a very common scam for new sellers, because they're not exactly sure how Fiverr works yet, and those scammers, they're targeting them and trying to for them to pay for something, to share maybe their Fiverr access. So this is also very, very important. And Fiverr encourage everyone, of course, to keep everything on Fiverr, all the business. But this is also interesting things like conducting business on Fiverr, increase your visibility. By using Fiverr tools, you can build long-term relationship with repeat clients, secure larger high-volume orders. To support seamless communication, Fiverr offers built-in tools like video calls, which help freelancers align their client needs. So, I'm not a big fan of video calls, because I think, especially my services, all the things can be done without jumping on a video call. This can be done in a written format. So I think, I understand why Fiverr wants to do that, but it's a bit tricky as well. So of course, I'm seeing now, if you go to, I have seen this on, let's say if I'm going to the pro section, and I'll show you what is happening here. So if I go, let's say, finding my gig, let's see, where am I? So I'm here. If I'm gonna click on my profile, you can see ask about free intro calls. So this is something as well that can affect you positively, negatively, right? I think this is only for pro sellers that they have. I'm not doing that, and I have this option, so I'll prefer, of course, to have this option to either turn it on or turn it off, because I don't do those intro calls, I'm just thinking about, in my case, I have a team as well, so potentially my team member could do these calls. But honestly, I don't know if there is a lot of if the projects are more complex, like website development, things like that, building programming something, maybe it's necessary to jump on a call. But in my case, it's different, so it's not maybe something that can be useful. So it's prohibited to accept payments outside of Fiverr. Yeah, all payments here. Bypass Fiverr system. Direct lines, freelance external platforms. This includes suggesting alternative payment systems. Share personal contact details. Do not share email addresses, phone numbers, or third-party messaging apps with the sole purpose of conducting business off-platform. So this is also a very big one, because Fiverr doesn't allow you to share an email address, right? But if your service involves, if it requires an email address from the buyer, maybe they need to share you an access to their social media, or they need to add you to the, WordPress account, they need to add you to the other things. If it's required by the service, then this can be allowed, right, to share an email. But you have to be careful, because first of all, you have to definitely have this in the requirements. So because if something happens and Fiverr will come to you is okay, why are you asking the email? And then you say, oh, because I do this service and I need the email. So they're gonna look at your requirements probably. They're gonna look somewhere that because you should include that, you should have this in the requirements. If you're asking for email to conduct the service, this has to be somewhere documented, At least you're protecting yourself, because this is of course, Fiverr cannot control everything, right? Things will happen. They cannot control everything 100%, but at least to protect yourself, just include that there, because if you have any issue or something like a red flag, you can always say like, hey, I am actually, in order to do this service, I need to have access to the client's social media, and in order for them like to have access, they need to invite me to their social media platform, or give access. The same with paid ads. When you're running paid ads, you need to access their business manager, so they need to invite you through like an email, business ID. I mean, there's multiple things, but still this will be necessary. So that's why you have to protect yourself. So, and that's pretty much about it, about this privacy, new like Fiverr community standards and things like that. So again, I mean, there are a few new things, but again, you have to, first of all, like, definitely read that once again and just think if you're doing something that can encourage red flags, and essentially you can, of course, talk with the support. But if you guys have any like questions or things like that, you can feel free to put in the comment or send me on Instagram just with your question, and I'll try my best to help in any way I can. So that was about the privacy policy. Something as well besides that, what I found interesting that Fiverr is trying to do is they're trying to push Fiverr affiliate. So they're trying to push affiliate marketing more, Fiverr, and they created this a Telegram group to join if you are a Fiverr affiliate. I found it interesting because the affiliate program of Fiverr has been always changing, improving, but this is also a big thing for us sellers, because if we have like Fiverr has a strong affiliates, they will be promoting our gigs more heavily, and if Fiverr can provide them a better infrastructure, better community, better support, that's just a win-win situation for affiliates, for Fiverr, and for us as sellers as well. So this has been also interesting. So guys, once again, if you need help with Fiverr journey, check out my newsletter, link in description, in the first comment as well. Check out the free course I have. I think that's going to be useful because I'm just documenting how you can create a gig, come up with different services, rank on Fiverr, do other things. This is a free course. I mean, if you're struggling, you should definitely go through it because that will be helpful. And again, if you sign up for my newsletter, I'm launching something new for all the Fiverr sellers in February. So if you're subscribed, you'll be the first to know. I think this is going to be very powerful because I've been, kind of like building this product. And this is not going to be like a course or like a coaching. This is going to be something more that can help your Fiverr journey as well. I would say no matter where you are, if you are already established seller or a beginning seller, this will be very useful to kind of like step in 2025 with more resources, more things that you can essentially support your Fiverr journey. And again, I think all of these updates, we're always at risk because we are on Fiverr, so anytime anything can happen. So I'm highly encouraging you, don't always rely on the one platform. Like even, for example, if you keep all your clients on Fiverr, which is fine, I have a lot of clients on Fiverr too, but still work on your personal brand, work on your, can be YouTube channel, can be LinkedIn account, can be X as well, can be a Substack, the newsletter platform. So just pick one platform. I think what I will suggest is that I will definitely suggest to look into LinkedIn, because this is something that, first of all, Fiverr is itself trying to invest more in LinkedIn. They're trying to get more people and do this like paid campaigns, and like I see that they're trying to be more active. Second, it's a big business network platform because it can help you with leads, can help you with the clients. So this is something that is booked. So just build your personal brand around LinkedIn. If you like YouTube, if you like creating content, that can be also an option. So guys, thank you so much. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a successful journey in Fiverr, and excited to see you in the next video.